Welcome to the podcast. We're here.
Yes, we are.
Where's the enthusiasm?
It's right here.
What? Look, getting your wife all set up and your mic's not even on your fucking mouth.
Yeah, it's there. You can hear me.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we're here. It is Tuesday, June 4th at 6:45 p.m. We are recording at Stonebridge Running Store. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have with me Matthias, my co-host.
Hi.
And we have a special co-host and guest who's here today.
My wife, Stephanie.
Yay! Welcome, Stephanie.
Hello.
Yay! Our first time being on the podcast. We have a virgin.
Yep, podcast virgin today.
Woo!
Not anymore.
No. All right. But Matthias is not the co-host today. I actually get
I'm kind of special guest today.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Special.
You're
Specialized.
you're so special. We're gonna talk about you.
I'm special.
But hold on, I gotta do the. Oh, so we've been at Crystal Court. So you were in for a really good podcast because
Hopefully.
we did prime up. You know,
A little bit. Not as much as the one time, but.
that was legendary. One time and done.
Yeah.
Although I have not been drinking, so it doesn't take much. So this is, you're in for a show. All right. So, but we want to talk about some updates and some fun stuff that's been going on before we dive into things. And we're not just going to do like a complete play-by-play about Matthias and what he just recently did at Cruel Jewel, but that's what this podcast is about. We're going to go into all the things. I've got a lot of questions. I'm going to throw him completely off so it's not like, and then I did this, and then I did that.
Yep.
I want to know about his training. I want to know all the secrets that might help some of you listeners that I know that some of you guys want to know about. So stay tuned. All right. So the last podcast we did was with Lily. So since then we did Sunderbrook.
Mm-hmm.
While I was running Sunderbrook, you two were at Cruel Jewel.
Yep.
You missed out.
I know. I remember Saturday morning rolling around. I don't know what time it was. I was like, I wish I was at Sunderbrook because I know they're going to be running race and then having all that beer and bacon.
Because your race started on Friday, right?
Yeah.
And you thought about us? You're like,
yeah.
aw.
I was almost jealous.
I mean, while doing a 100-miler, I think I would be too, because I'd be like, God damn it, those guys are having fun. I mean,
Right.
I got to tell you, I did not like the race.
What?
Mm-mm. No. Okay.
What didn't you like? The course or the whole?
There we go. I
Yeah,
didn't.
just the course?
Yeah. I was not ready.
Well, so you did the 10K,
Yeah.
not just the 5K.
Yeah. So, but I can also say I'll be back next year.
Woohoo! For more beer and bacon?
Yeah. So I loved that. It was awesome. It was so fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah. And the crowd's amazing. The people are amazing. Josh is awesome.
Yeah.
What didn't I like? That I wasn't ready for it.
The course.
Yeah. I had a hard time. Like, I felt like I was praying to the gods for oxygen at one point in time.
Well, I heard it got hot.
Yes.
And then you're
Jeez.
in the trees and it's probably humid.
None of us were heat acclimated at all.
Right.
I finished, and I believe it was Corby who said to me, wow, you really shouldn't have gotten that sunburned out there. It was pretty shaded. I'm like, I'm not fucking sunburned, asshole. I'm just that dying right now. Like,
Whoa.
that's just my blood pressure or my heart rate. I don't know. But I apparently was beet red.
Wow.
Probably trying to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
So you went after it then?
No. I think
you did.
I think
I
I
mean,
was
if you
like-
put that much effort into it, you come in looking like a lobster.
I think I was like I finished at the bottom. Hey, you know what though?
To each their own.
Bottoms.
That's right.
Oh,
Hey,
well.
in some races, DFL gets a pretty nice snazzy award.
Oh, well, I should have. So, I mean, yeah, did I give it? I did. It was so hard. I was having a hard time. I wasn't ready at all for that.
Yeah.
It is definitely what I would call death by paper cuts for hills.
Yeah,
You've done it. You've done it.
Yeah, it's unrelenting. There's very little flat. So you're either going up or you're going down.
Mm-hmm.
And none of it's really hard. It's just never ending.
Yeah.
It's, you're done going up. Okay, let's go down. Oh, you're done going down. Let's go up. And you're going around 5 million corners. So you never get a momentum thing going on either.
I was just looking for a good long stretch,
Nope.
and it never happened.
Nope,
So
not
that I
there.
could get my heart rate to like come down. No, my heart was like, I don't know if we're gonna make it.
Bye.
Yeah, it was like, oh,
Well, Steph's done the 5K.
have you?
I was gonna say I did it last year. I remember it being twisty and turny,
Yeah,
but
very
I
much
don't
so.
remember the hills so much. I didn't think it was bad.
The 5K escapes a lot of the backside hills, I think. You guys float along the top a lot more. But
Okay.
yeah, still twisty and turvy.
I loved it though.
Did you?
I was really looking forward to it this year. When he told me, "Hey, we can't do it," I was not
Yeah.
happy.
So I mean, like, yeah, I will be back. I'll be back. Wait, when was that? Will I be back? Oh shit!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Well, I don't know. It might be the same weekend. It might not, but it'll be really close that you probably won't want to do it.
Oh no! I could do the 5K.
There you go.
I could
And just
volunteer.
walk it.
I could volunteer.
Ooh, yeah. If you volunteer, do you
Josh.
still get beer and bacon?
Well, Josh will take
would
care of
hope
his
so.
volunteers.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, Josh is an amazing race director.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All his races are fun.
Yeah. So I love that he turns his races into parties.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'll probably be at Sedona 125. I don't feel like getting my calendar open right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm either going to either be there or close to there because I'm there the second week of May.
Yeah.
Shit.
So yeah, you're probably gonna miss it.
Oh, damn.
Unless
I'll be-
Josh is listening and wants to work around that.
Yeah,
day.
he's not going to pick
Yeah,
one runner.
Just kidding.
I'll be
We'll
thinking
be
of
there,
you.
though. We'll have a drink for you.
You guys aren't going to Sedona? Fuckers. Okay. All right, moving on. They both looked at each other like,
What do we say?
Is there something I'm supposed to know?
Yeah.
all right. Also, we had the hindsight preview. So
Yes, we
that
did.
turned out really good. I had some good
Yeah.
numbers.
How many people do we have? Probably around 20 or so.
I didn't count. I
Yeah, I
should.
didn't either.
I think the ultra sign up counted. So it was because I'm an ambassador for ultra sign up. Shout out to ultra sign up, and they want us putting on some group runs. And you want to pick something I think special. And my choice was to pick a race preview to maybe help the race directors get their numbers up or kind of promote a race. So I don't think anyone from that race preview signed up, but you ended up having signups right afterwards, right?
Correct. Yeah, we had 3 signups that weekend for the 100 miler.
Yes.
That was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, none of them came to the preview, but they signed up.
Yeah,
Loved it.
but we did. You know, you got the course GP. How do you say it?
GPX file.
Is posted in the so they can go to the Hindsight 100 group page.
Correct.
And find that file if they want to preview
Yeah, I
it.
think it's called 2024 Hindsight 100.
And I guarantee you, if you go to the group page and ask somebody to run it with you, they will.
Yep.
Anything else you can think of you want to share about the Hindsight as you're a race director for Hindsight?
I took my group on a special little excursion at one point in the race where we're going to change it up a little bit. So my group got to see it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Dun, dun, dun.
You're changing something up?
Just a little bit. Plus, the start and stop is now behind the park district building instead of over by the dog park. So there's a little extra mileage. So we got to alter the course somewhere else a little bit. More to come, but most of it's pretty much going to be the same.
There's a
It won't be at any added
secret
elevation.
change-up.
Yeah.
Or
So-
it's a typical Yeti extended race.
No, it won't be. I've already got a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do. I got 2 different options that I'm going to play out. I just got to run them and see what works out for me.
All right.
So,
Well, I like it. Your registration's going good, yeah?
yeah, we got 16 people, I do believe, and 6 of them are already on the 100. The 25K option this year has been very popular. So if you're just looking to come and hang out and have some fun, sign up for the 25K. It's only 2 laps of the course.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It gets you out there. You know, it's 16 miles.
Now, if say I signed up for the 25K, and I mean this rarely happens, but sometimes, and I want to do more, what happens if they tell the race director I want to keep going? Can they bump it up that day, or what? Is there any options to do that?
Yeah, they sure can.
I mean, they just have to like throw some cash down to you,
Probably, you know, up
the
know.
money, and
pay the difference. Yep, sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
really.
if they're
I threw
feeling
you-
good and they want to do 4 laps, go for it.
Threw you for a loop there. Hey, if I
Yeah,
can-
it's not something I've really thought about yet, but usually that doesn't happen. Hey, I want to do more.
you never know.
I know.
You
No,
never
don't.
know. Someone might come out for a 25K and someone else might need a pacer, so they're going to throw out some extra loops. Give them
Yep,
credit.
get 2 extra loops, and yeah, we'll give you credit for all the loops
Especially
you
if you
do,
get
whether
somebody
you
from
sign up
like
for it or not.
who's not done the course, and they're
Right.
like, "Oh wait,
Yeah.
I want a 50K. Oh wait, is there a 50K?
Yes,
Yes.
25, 50, 100,
You think
then
I'm
100
100
miles.
It's a great race. I absolutely love the course. It's definitely doable. I feel like loops are great for somebody, especially if you're doing your first 100 miler, because this gives you the option to come in from your loop and do some troubleshooting with your crew, yourself.
And there's a lot of other people around there too. Yeah.
And there you will be surrounded by people who have been there, done that, and know what's happening.
And
so
logistically, it's very easy for the crew because they just stay in the same spot. all day.
correct. But I mean, like if you run into a problem, be sure to tell somebody, because I guarantee you in that group, there's somebody who's like, I got you. I
Yep.
know this. I've been there, done that. So I think this is a great race, especially if you want to, hit a first or you want to hit a PR. So
Yep. Or a training race.
yeah. All right, moving on. So we got Kettle coming up. Wishing everyone good luck on that coming
Yeah,
up.
that's actually this weekend. Yeah, we've got stuff. I was thinking about volunteering, but we got stuff planned for this weekend. So
I'm still remodeling my kitchen. I'm sorry.
yeah, I volunteered last year, so maybe I'll be able to go up again next year and volunteer.
I had planned on being there. I was supposed to crew, but my runner had to drop it. So
Okay.
yeah, so I didn't even. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I say remodel kitchen, but now that my runner's not running it, I'm going to be down in Peoria watching. I just shout out to my niece. She's going to be running her 3rd triathlon.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
She's 12 years old.
Nice.
And so she got 2nd place last year only because her auntie, me, yelled and screamed at her when she saw her walking the run part and said, "Run your ass." So she tried to walk a hill and I screamed at her to run. And she looked at me with like these big eyes like crap because she saw her auntie and ran. And this boy was trying to beat her. I'm like, beat him. So I'll be there at that hill once again, yelling at everybody.
Yeah, of course.
All the kids to run and keep going. And,
Nice.
Yeah. And then my other niece, who's 8, is running her first triathlon. So I get
That's
to
awesome.
yell at 2 of my little babies. I can't wait.
Awesome.
I think it's great. This area does really good for little kids
Yeah.
starting the triathlon. I never had
definitely.
that.
Oregon Park District used to put on a triathlon, and they had a little kids one, and it was really great
yeah.
for them as well.
I think it's great to start kids early so that, you know,
Just
get over
them
that fear.
enthusiastic about it.
I'm petrified of it. So starting me on. Schutzen is coming up.
I'm excited.
Ooh, are you doing it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course he's doing it.
Well, it's a podcast.
Shocker.
Yeah. So what's the goal? What's happening?
I'm not.
Oh, you don't want
Couple-
any? You don't want anyone to know?
A couple of people know what my goal is for the race, but we'll see.
No.
Just go farther than I did last time is the biggest goal.
Hmm.
I have other more specific goals, but not calling them out.
I have a goal. Do you want to know what mine is?
Get your runner to the paddle.
Mine's have fun. Mine's to get my runner to the paddle. Yeah, I mean, and she will.
Yeah.
I mean, stop fretting. We know this is going to happen. I mean, I get to go out with her and yell at her a couple times. I look forward to the sperm tree and making jokes about
Oh.
it because she was cracking jokes behind me and I was trying to like stay focused. My favorite point was when her sister Tara Beveroff.
She's running it too.
Yeah,
They're all running. All 3 of them are
all
running it.
the Beveroffs. So I had the one bevy behind me and I'm trying to run down a hill. And you're breathing, you're focusing, and everyone knows the sperm trees. The trees at that one spot smell like sperm. And her sister knew exactly the scientific name of the tree and why it does this and whatever. It smelled so bad. And I'm like, man, yeah. Amy thought I smelled like that. And her sister's like, no, it's a tree. And I'm like, you thought I smelled like dick, like sperm? Like, what the hell? And they're like, no, it's a tree. And so I was like, oh, Amy, I can't believe you thought that was me. So they were joking about it. So they came back around another time and Tara grabbed a flower and said, it's this right here, and shows Amy. And I'm like, I'm just shaking my head and I keep going like, these guys, oh my God. So we keep running down the hill and I'm now, cause I love downhill, I love downhill and I'm whatever, 20 some miles and I'm still blazing down. I'm going down and I hear Tara goes, man, now my hands smell like dick. I hear Amy laughing and snorting behind me, and I'm just like, and this person comes by and they're like, they just turn like, did you just? I'm like, yeah, her hands smell like dick. You don't want to know. And they're just like, what? And I just kept running. I'm like, oh my God.
That's hilarious.
So I can't wait to grab the sperm tree and be like, Amy,
Yep.
smell my hands. So,
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have Pinetum coming up.
Yep.
Super excited about that. Get registered.
That's right.
We're getting filled up. Well,
We
we're
are.
about halfway, I think.
Nice. But still.
Because, yeah, all the registrations usually happen about 2 weeks before.
Of course, yep.
So we're about halfway there. We've got some good registrations. One of them sitting across from me signed up for the 24-hour.
Just got there. Yep.
My husband signed me up, but in all honesty, I told him to. So
Oh, I was like, did he tell you?
no, I told him to.
I pulled a Lynn.
This was not a Lynn and Alan.
Lynn would be so proud.
Yeah, right.
All right. So if you have any questions about that, concerns or whatever, then email us. Let us know. Message us on the page and
Yeah,
we'll
if
get
you
back
need
to
a
you.
course description or anything, just let us know.
Just know it's a good time. You cannot not have a good time.
We'll
at
be
Pine
releasing a
Jump.
course map soon.
Yeah. You need a JPX file? Let me know.
If you don't know, it's a point
0.411
mile
Yep.
loop.
We'll give you the info.
Keep going left.
Until you have changed directions.
Yep.
and
Then you go
it's
right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to ask Matthias,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on the spring shit show that's going down?
So I've been seeing a little bit here and there
I
on it.
sent you some shit on
Yep,
Reddit
you
before Coop came out. I sent you the Reddit file. So you were in it before Coop came out.
Yep. So I didn't really dive deep into it because I don't use a lot of spring, so I don't know which flavors. Sounds like the awesome sauce is the one that's affected. I don't know.
That one over there, that green one.
Yeah.
Right there.
So that's the awesome sauce.
Yeah.
So
You know, that's what I used at Dino both years.
right. Yeah. So I don't know the specifics on what the discrepancy is or anything, so I really can't comment a whole lot. But if there truly is a discrepancy and they knew about it, that is garbage. But I don't know. You know, maybe they changed a little bit of something in the recipe mid-run because I know they've had supply issues.
That's what they came out, I guess, or they came out to their suppliers. They responded with either to the public or the responders. Don't quote me. I don't fucking know. So don't, that their supplier changed something and that's why the calorie count went down so drastically. I
Okay.
call bullshit on that. I really do.
I don't know.
How-
It can happen. You would be surprised what happens in the food industry. I've been
But
in
when
the
you
food
look at the
industry for a while.
ingredients, you're like, really, did the apples change that much? Did the rice change that much? Like,
No, there's got to be something else to give you 200 calories in that. It sure the hell ain't the apples and the rice in there, but so it does say on here maple syrup. So unless something in that changed, because that's a lot of sugar, that would give you a lot of calories there.
so maybe their maple syrup provider.
Could have changed something. I don't know. I know there's a big thing in the maple syrup industry about, counterfeiting and thinning things out there. So maybe something happened there. I know that Grace has had a hard time getting spring energy, especially the awesome sauce. So I don't know.
They do take a long time to provide. So I don't know if they're getting a hard
Right.
time from their suppliers. So
Sounds like they almost make to order because it's such a short shelf life.
it has a very, very short shelf life, big time.
Say that 3 times fast.
Not today. So right now, people like me who have a terrible stomach, we all know this, I've talked about it several times, is that, after I had cancer, my stomach just kind of took a shit and I cramp up. Like, I just get pains. Like, it's not like I'm going to have
Well, you have a
explosive
problem
diarrhea.
with the valve on the bottom of your stomach, right? Isn't that what it is? Or do you not think it is that anymore?
No, it's just like I cramp up or I'll throw up.
Okay. Yep. I do know that.
And then the upper stomach, they say I can't, my stomach is, they call it a lazy stomach. So the entire, from the top to the bottom is lazy. All the muscles are really weak and slow. So I can't process things like the average person. So something like this is easier for my stomach to process and break down and
Right.
move down. So when people like just eat real food, well, that's not easy for me to do. Right. And when on a race, I need to try and consume as much calories as I can consume because I'm putting my body through.
Right. And when you're counting on those calories to be there because you've calculated it.
And if I eat too much real food, it's going to get stuck up top and then I'm going to start vomiting, which you saw at Hennepin.
Yep.
So
I just pat you on the back, say you're okay. Let's just keep going.
You were such an asshole, but I needed that. I remember being so pissed at you there. You're like, you're okay. I'm like, I'm fucking vomiting right now. Like, oh. But I did get a really good time.
Yep, sure did.
So, yeah. So right now, I mean, I will take all the suggestions, but I think for me, I'm going to switch to baby food again with real food. So, I mean, that's what I feel like I have to do. Go back to the baby food because I
start researching real food that's easy to process and digest.
Sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I eat mashed potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. I was thinking sweet potatoes with the maple syrup would probably be really good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Give that a whirl.
Because I have the baby pouches that you can reuse.
Okay.
So I was gonna give that a whirl and just make my own up and
Nice.
I wonder if I even put some applesauce in there, and kind of like
just
this.
to thin it out just a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's kind of what this is.
Right.
Bit. This is yams, but
because applesauce doesn't have a lot of nutrition
or tastes
calories,
good.
but it'll thin it out and it gives you a good texture. For me, anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm frustrated because, I think about, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I just remember being at Dino being so damn tired and being like, why am I so tired? I'm so tired. And you think, well, was I not getting the calories I needed?
It could have been a factor.
Who knows?
It could have been a factor of, hey, I'm running 100 miles.
And I'm going over the time I've ever gone before. So, all right, enough about that. Let's move on. Are we ready?
Oh, there's one more thing on there.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the Reagan Run.
Yep.
Hey.
I'm looking forward to that one, too.
Reagan Run, if you're a local, so not all of our listeners are locals.
Right.
We have the Reagan Run. If you're from here in this area, come check it out. That occurred
July 6th.
Okay.
Yes.
8 a.m. in front of the
It is
Ronald
huge.
Reagan Boyhood Home is where it starts.
Yeah. Big. It's a 5K. It is a road 5K, but it is a really big one in our area.
Yep.
Awesome. But we also have the primaries so that you can do some training runs on Wednesdays at
I think it's 5 p.m.
5:30.
Or is it 5? It's 5:30?
5:30.
She's gonna look it up.
I got the message today.
So check that out, and you can join the group for some training runs. Just
training and check out the course.
Wednesdays at 5:30.
All right,
Yeah.
Wednesdays at 5:30 up
And
until the
and where are they
race
meeting at?
day.
Right there at
Boyhood,
Should be
Ronald
right at
Reagan
the-
Boyhood Home.
Yep.
Ronald Reagan Boyhood Home
Correct.
in Dixon, Illinois.
Yep.
All right, not Dixon, Illinois.
Southern Hennepin.
Okay, yeah, check it out. All right, you can find more information at Stonebridge Running. All right, now we're going to move on. We're going to talk about Cruel Jewel
Uh-oh.
because you two are wearing shirts.
From
All right.
Cruel Jewel.
So it's funny because Stephanie walked in with a shirt that made me laugh. It says, "I won't do it, but I'll crew it," from Cruel Jewel.
Yep.
I like it. That's funny.
It was not easy to find, by the way.
Yeah.
The
She's got
shirt?
a whole story
Yes.
behind that. It took 2 days to find that shirt.
Yes.
Get to the mic and tell me.
So the first day, of course, packet pickup, we were not there yet. We were still on our road. We get there Friday morning. Shirts are a mess, totally picked over. I'm digging. I'm looking for everything. No sizes for me. Simple, medium, none. So I give up. Send Matthias off on his start. Told him I was going to go back and check. Never did. He gets done. Well, he's coming to the finish. I'm waiting for him. I go in, decide I'm going to check one more time. Lo and behold, there it is right on top. I got my shirt. I was all ready for him. Changed into it before he got to the finish. So
Oh, cute.
can't have it.
I love it. That's cute.
I actually got 2 shirts in my swag bag.
Did
I
you?
got this one, and then I got one that says, "Poor decisions make for better stories."
And a hat.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and I got a hat.
Nice.
Yeah.
They got good swag.
Yeah.
All right. So one bonus check mark. They got good swag.
Yes.
Okay. And you have a nice buckle.
Thanks.
You want me to say it, don't you?
It's big.
All right. Are you ready? It's so big.
Oh, really? You looked at it and said it was so big, huh?
I did not.
Almost.
Nope.
Then you caught yourself.
Nope.
You're like, you set me up. I sure did.
He did try. All right. What people want to know, and this could be, we're going to break this up a little bit.
Okay.
How did you prepare for this race?
Very, very hard.
Yes.
I did a lot of preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, for people that don't know Cruel Jewel, there's a lot of climbing.
Mm-hmm.
It's advertised as 33,000 feet and 104 miles. It's actually like 106, 107, but we'll get into that later maybe. So I knew that I needed a lot of elevation training. So I put a lot of focus on that and got a lot of extra miles on also.
Okay.
That was probably the biggest thing.
No, you did more.
Oh, well, I lost 20 pounds also.
How did you lose 20 pounds?
I've been wanting to lose weight for, I don't know, how long have we been talking about this? 2 years?
Yep.
Yeah, trying to lose weight for 2 years. And I finally found an app that
Do you want to share what that app is called?
Sure, chronometer or chronometer.
And I will share that on a post.
Yep, it's in the Google Play Store. I'm sure it's in the iStore or whatever as well. It just tracks what you eat for the day, and it has a great dashboard for showing you.
And this is free, correct? You use the free version.
I use the free version, yeah. So great dashboard for in your face of where you're at for calories for the day. And on that same dashboard, it shows your macronutrients. So your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. So, if you're getting to the end of the day, it's like, oh, I've got 500 calories left. Ooh, I need something with a lot of protein, or I need something with a lot of carbs. Boom, it shows you. It's in your face. As soon as you open your phone, you open that app, that dashboard is right there. Just having that in my face every time I would go to enter my food was huge and significant. And then I also did kind of a little bit of intermittent fasting where I cut out breakfast for the most part, unless I did a workout in the morning. So no more cereal in the morning or anything like that. So it was really easy to cut back my calories that way.
Sorry. So when you worked out, you did not fast.
Correct. I would fast into the workout, but then right after the workout, I'd get my protein shake and a bagel or something to get my carbs and protein.
Wait, but if you were going to go run or work out, weightlift, did you eat something before?
Early in the morning? No.
Where's my crickets? Okay. Not a fan, but it worked for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a man. Just going to say that.
There you go.
Yep.
Agree.
So I lost
Let me just put that in there because he's a man. Women should not do that because it will raise your cortisol levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I lost over 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Most of it was just because at the end of the day, almost every single diet, it's all about restricting your calories.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And a lot of it is cutting out the junk. So because I was watching my calories, you're cutting out a lot of the junk because a lot of the junk has
let's define
high
that.
density calories.
Let's define junk because we had this conversation in the bar. It was a bar. Let's just say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost some weight that I put on, and I'm pretty happy. I'm excited. And I said, let's just say it what it is. What is it that we should probably all tell people to avoid?
Number one, processed food. Number two, sugars.
Yes. That is the key, folks.
Yep.
Those two things. Cut those.
Those are the biggest things. Mm-hmm. And then on the flip side of that, number three is get your nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So what's also nice about that app is when you start digging into it and you start putting in at least a week or longer, it'll show you a week average of where a lot of your micronutrients are, your proteins, a lot of your vitamins and minerals and things like that. So if you're coming up really weak on a couple of things, maybe you can take a supplement or adjust your food intake or something a little bit. But
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, myself, it was a huge game changer. It doesn't matter how you track it, but at the end of the day, you really got to track it. Otherwise people cheat.
You do have to track it until it becomes a habit. And then once it becomes a habit, you just know. Yeah.
You can back off a little bit. I don't right now, I'm not tracking it every day. Right now I'm starting to track it because I'm still losing weight a little bit. So I got to make sure I'm eating enough. Mm-hmm. Now, this last weekend was a shit show. So, I just need to make sure I'm still eating good. Mm-hmm. It's hard to fall back, or it's easy to fall into bad habits again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did it after dyno. but I intentionally did it. I mean, I was telling you, I intentionally
Correct.
gained weight because I wanted to do an experiment. So, and now I'm like, okay, now it's time to, lose it. And it does come down to what we were talking about.
Yep. So yeah, the weight loss, that was a huge part of my training also. It made me springier. It made me more efficient, made me faster. So I wasn't carrying that extra weight around, but I did a lot of training in the interim to get there. I put a lot of miles in.
So when you say you put a lot of miles on, what kind of miles did you put on?
Right now I'm at 1080.
Okay, but like flat miles, just regular trail miles, or were they special miles?
Oh, they're always special miles for the most part.
But can I get that pulled out of you to share with the folks?
Unless they're recovery miles or, let's say there's a day I just don't have any time. I've been on a running streak or at least a mile a day streak since I started that streak challenge back in November.
How often a week would you say you were doing hill repeats?
1.5, 2 times a week on average, maybe.
Okay.
But, I also did very special hill repeat workouts. So there's the Black Hawk statue up in Oregon, Illinois. They've got the big stairs. I don't do the stairs. There's a trail off of the side that I do.
Called Heckman.
Nope. You
did Heckman, and then you did the one that's piece of shit that I can't stand. Right next to the stairs.
Correct.
I hate that trail so much.
It is horrible, but it works on your footing.
Mm-hmm, it does.
It works on getting up steep sections of trail. It's great for working with poles. But so what I would do is I would get there, I'd go to the bottom, and I would start out with a set of lunges, whether it be, curtsies or side lunges or forward lunges or sumo squats, anything. Do a set of 15 to 25. Whatever I could do, not to complete failure, but to where I'm like, I can't do a couple more of these. And then I would run and do hill repeats for half an hour. And then I would get to the bottom at the end of the half an hour and I would do another set of a different lunge. And I would do that 4 times for a total of a 2-hour workout.
Okay.
So just get them legs super tired, but you still have to keep moving on. And then probably every 3 of those, then I would go and run a few extra miles and go across the street and check out those trails.
Wow. All right, we're going to move on, but I'm going to give you a challenge to post. I'll have you post. I'll post this with the posting of the podcast. I want to know what your yearly vert is right now.
Oh, I could tell you that.
All right,
I don't know if I could or not.
Well, you got time because we're going to move on.
Okay.
What specific challenges did you anticipate before the race?
A lot of hills and being longer than 100 miles.
And you did what you did to get ready for those.
Correct.
What was your race strategy going into Cruel Jewel?
Survive.
How did you plan your pacing, nutrition, and hydration for this?
Well, my nutrition and hydration is always the same as it is for any other race. I'm always looking for a certain number of calories per hour and then a certain ounces of fluids per hour, depending on how much I'm sweating. When it gets colder and I'm not sweating as much, I'm not drinking as much. But if it's hot and I'm sweating, it's like, okay, it's been a couple hours. I know I got to be through both of my flasks that are in my vest, so I try and gauge time. If I have an hour, at least 1 flask better be gone. Mm-hmm. If it's not, then I'm like, all right, I need to step this up. And then I just try and make sure I'm getting calories. If an hour goes by, I'm like, ooh, I haven't eaten. I've got 1 flask gone. That's 150 calories of tailwind. I better supplement that with something. So, and then when I get to the aid stations, I just grab a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or a couple times I had ramen and potatoes.
Okay.
That was about it. But just like I usually do.
Was there any point in time where you both had to adapt the strategy as the race went on?
I don't know. Was there anything?
I had to adapt to very strange aid station parking setup. Like nothing I've ever seen before. We were literally on busy roads, parked at the aid station.
And a lot of these roads, a couple of these roads were like fire service roads. So there weren't much of a road.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
At one aid station, I parked about a little over half a mile from the aid station. So thank God, I'm going to give a shout out to Dewey's for giving me their wagon. That was my lifesaver because you had to park half mile down and take all your stuff up to the aid station. And just work with what they had to offer. I will say Cruel Jewel had amazing aid stations.
Okay.
Their people were great.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah. I had potatoes to make for Matthias. Thankfully, I didn't have to use our cook stove. They had hot water. I was able to get that from them, and that was easy.
Nice. All
Other
right.
than that,
You didn't have to adapt at any point in time, like, well, that's out. I'm going to switch this.
well, and I guess I could say our lack of internet service.
Oh,
No Wi-Fi. It was hard to watch the weather for him.
No, I don't really think there was anything we'd adapt other than, how hard some sections were versus how easy other sections were. I came up on that first aid station like
Jesus.
an hour and 15 minutes sooner than I had anticipated, just because them
Yeah.
first 20 miles were really actually very easy.
Thank God I was ready.
Yeah. That was not anticipated, but she was there and already ready. So that was good.
thank God, right?
Yeah.
Like, you had to been like,
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I saw him coming through the trees, and I was like, no flipping way. Is this watch wrong? But no, it was him. He was,
You want to tell us what happened there? You're usually so precise in your timing.
exactly.
It is, but I looked at the overall elevation profile of the race. But there's a lot of runnable in that first 20 miles that I did not expect.
Okay.
There's a 4-mile section of road that's light downhill.
So you took advantage.
You can run. Well, of course, right? So
Yeah.
you can run it. The first big uphill with fresh legs at mile 3, half of that was runnable, and then, it's 2.5, 3 miles of going uphill, and then it's 2 miles of going downhill, and it's all pretty soft downhill. So, you're just cruising. There was so much runnable in that first 20 miles. I was like, holy crap, this race is easy. It got harder later on. I knew it was coming. I was like,
Your face.
boy,
It got harder later.
yeah, my elevation's just not adding up per mile here. I'm doing the math in my head, looking at my watch, looking at the elevation. I'm like, I think we got something nasty coming up, or my watch isn't working right, but it came up.
Okay, we paused and we're back because somebody had to go potty. That somebody is me. That's what happens when you have some drinks. All right. I want to know, was there some physical or mental challenges? How about some mental challenges? Because you don't usually have those in a race. Did you have them this time?
I did have one big low.
Did you?
Yeah, it was kind of pointless, though.
Wait, what?
Pun intended.
Well, share.
So probably mile 85, because let me think, 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 2. So about 10 miles ago. So yeah, probably about mile 90. There, you come up to an out and back. It's probably about 4.5, 5 miles added to the race out of the 106. It's just a little out and back that you don't need to do to get to 100 miles. So they call it the pointless out and back. You go down to Weaver Creek and come back up. There's an aid station there.
Just to be dicks.
Pretty much. It's called Cruel Jewel for a reason. So basically, in the 2.5 miles that you go down to Weaver Creek, it's 1,500 feet down. And then you climb back 1,500 feet up to come back out of this out and back. And what's even worse is they have signs in this out and back that says, hey, guess what? You don't need this out and back to get to 100 miles. And for the 50 milers, it says, hey, guess what? You're doing 57 miles because of this pointless out and back.
Oh, no.
Yep. Yeah. The 100 miler was like, this is the reason you're doing 104 miles and not 100 miles.
Oh,
Yeah.
ouch.
So what happened was I got to the last aid station. It's on that road section, but you're going uphill. So I ran part of it, walked a lot of it, and I kind of got there and I was like, I need a little pick me up. So I don't remember if I grabbed some gummy bears or if I grabbed some pop, but I ran on that rush for a while and we ran for the most part downhill to this out and back. And I mean, I wasn't completely going fast, but I was taking advantage of the nice, easy downhill. So we got to this out and back and it's fairly flat for, maybe a quarter of a mile. And then it just starts going downhill. And because of the previous downhill, my legs were starting to get a little tired and the energy rush was wearing off. And I was just starting to feel really low on energy. And you're just going downhill and you're going downhill and you're going downhill. And I'm just like, this sucks. It was really getting on me. And before that, I was really riding on the high also of knowing that I was top 15 and we were probably going to finish definitely sub 30. And I was like, yes, I'm excited. I'm riding this wave. This is great. Until I get to this out and back. And I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to think where I'm at for how many miles I'm at. And I'm like, I'm going to end up with more than 104 miles. This is going to add time. I've got this stupid out and back. I'm losing energy just going downhill. How am I going to climb out of this? So it really got on me a little bit mentally that, oh man, I hope I can hang on to top 15. And man, I really don't know if I'm going to sub 30 this. Let's just go back to the original goal of getting there before dark. And it kind of hung on me for a little while. So that was my really only big low of the race, but it was a pretty good low. I even called Stephanie and said, hey, I don't think I'm going to be at the finish as soon as I thought I was going to get there. So just heads up.
That freaked me out a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah.
How was his voice?
Could
you hear it?
I could hear the frustration, a little bit of defeat, but at the same time,
that's not like you.
It was just exactly. That's why I'm like, do I need to do something? Like I told him later, when he called me, I was just like, okay, I'm here when you get here. And I told him later that I felt like it was a test and I failed as crew chief, that I was supposed to tell him, like, get your ass in gear.
You mean
the finish?
You mean the Morgan Maynard that just happened? Fucking go, James! Guy!
Shut the fuck up and just go. Just get here.
That's not what I was looking for. I just wanted to give you an update and say, hey, I don't want you waiting around for 2 hours.
Where just know I'm not going to be there as soon as expected.
Okay.
So, yeah, that first 20, zoom. Last 20, not so much, but
for the record,
we definitely got our finish.
Good job. But for the record, I need the Morgan. Fucking go, Jen. Go.
Well, I got to the bottom at Weaver Creek at the bottom of that pointless out and back. And I just kind of got to the aid station. I was like, well, I'm out of energy. I grabbed my peanut butter and jelly half sandwich and, filled my water bottles up and just kind of regrouped. And I stood there for a couple of minutes and I resorted myself to like, okay, I'm just going to climb out of this really slowly, conserve my energy so I can finish the last 8 miles of this race and just get it done and try not to lose too many positions and still try and finish in the top 15 and not have too many people pass me. So surprisingly enough, I did that and I was just like, okay, taking my time, just climbing. And so, for some reason, the climb out wasn't as steep as the going down. I don't know why, but I got to the top and I was like, oh shit, I'm at the top already. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And it kind of picked me up.
Miles.
Yeah, it kind of picked me up a little bit. And I just cruised into the finish and passed 4 more people.
Wow. Oh. That's awesome. The wife's big cheesy, like, yeah.
Right? Yeah, because I had a guy
Guide.
pass me on the way up because I was just taking my time. But then I caught.
later?
Oh, yeah, I caught back up to him. Yeah.
There were 3 finishers pretty much
Within all 5 minutes
Yeah.
of each other. Yeah. We were all
Minutes
pretty
of them.
close. Yep.
So, I mean, for the listeners, you're not used to that. Like, I
mean, I've had lows in the race, but I don't know if I felt like that. I did at Leadville a little bit going up and over.
but you can overcome it. It's great.
Well, yeah.
It's good for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just keep pushing forward, just do like Sally says, slow down a little bit, regroup, conserve a little bit of energy,
reset.
Do a reset. Yep. And it comes back to you. And before you know it, because mentally you prepared yourself to move so slow when, you kind of reset and all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, I'm at this next waypoint or at the top of this hill already. It picks you up mentally and you're like, whew, I've got a little more energy than I thought I did. And, and then you just start moving again.
So this was your longest miles and longest time on feet, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So how do you manage pain and fatigue during a race?
Just put it away.
You're a Courtney DeWalter fan, are you not?
A little bit.
So just to hit that pain cave. Let's talk about it. Like, what do you do when you're in that pain cave?
So at mile probably 50 or so, I noticed a blister coming on.
Oh yeah. Let's talk.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about this because Andrea and I kind of hit this. I don't know if you listened to the Lily podcast.
No.
But like, what? Really? You didn't?
Not yet.
Wow.
I have such a short drive to work anymore.
Oh.
I just don't have time to listen to it.
I mean, like, okay, not to be a jerk, but I'm going to be one because I'm a blunt person. So a lot of people They get pain and like, I can't, I'm hurting, I'm
Right.
done. And it's excuses as to why people quit races. But a lot of us know who finish these, you're going to hurt. Shit's going to go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to suck.
That's 100 miles.
And
Right.
so this is where we want to share this knowledge of, hey, don't take your excuses, push them into the back seat, wherever you got to do, and embrace the suck and deal with it. But
Take
we
a
all,
salt pill.
yeah, that's it. It always works.
Yeah.
Lynn tried to put one on my butt. I am not.
TMI.
No, it wasn't TMI. She told the entire aid station, "You got some lube? I'm going to put a salt tab up her ass." I was like, I'm just like, the look on my face had to have been priceless to the entire place. Like, I was like,
That's hilarious.
I am sorry, but could I get a new pacer right now? So anyway, like, how do you embrace your pain cave? I mean, we all do it differently. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know that the downhill up the pointless aid station was pain cave, but my feet really got hurting after a while, especially that blister. At mile 50, when I started getting that, we had a shoe change 4 miles before that, and I realized that my shoes weren't tight enough. They were newer shoes. They hadn't quite been broken very well yet.
What shoes were they?
They were the same shoes I was wearing before.
Oh,
they were
they're
just a
just
newer,
new.
newer pair. So
You pulled a Sally.
I
Too new.
decided, yeah, right, exactly. Except they weren't new socks; they were newer shoes.
Yeah.
He had his socks.
Yep, I remember my socks.
Well,
were
somebody
nice.
just keeps posting, "Don't try anything new on race day." Bullshit. Anyway,
It wasn't anything new. I had run in these shoes
Yeah,
before.
I
They
know,
just
but-
weren't
yeah.
adjusted tight to my feet, so they're sliding around. But the blister could have started before I even put these shoes on.
True.
But I started thinking about it. I was like, man, why am I getting a blister? Did I not lube my feet up enough after when I did the shoe change, or what's going on? So I started thinking, I was like, well, how am I going to deal with this? I'm not going to see Steph for another 20 miles or 10 miles, or I don't remember how far it is. So I was like, well, what are we going to do with a blister? What do you do with it? You do anything? Not really. Maybe put a little lube on it so it's not scuffing around in your feet. And it's like, do you pop it? Is it good to pop it? Is it not good? I don't know.
Pop it and tape it.
But I was like, but that's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to give up time of my race for that. So I decided I'm going to pull a Sally and we're just going to ignore it. And, I basically it hurt, but I kind of ignored it. It got to the point later in the race where to deal with the pain, what I ended up doing is I can put myself in like almost do like a turn off mode. I don't know. I kind of call it like a little bit of a trance kind of.
Yep.
But I'll close my eyes a little bit and just kind of block out the world and just almost like I'm trying to fall asleep. But I'll stay alert just enough to pay attention to trail conditions as long as they're not too severe, but just kind of almost half close my eyes, just kind of try and shut down a little bit and just try and move along and try and ignore that pain. Of course, a nasty section of trail come up or a steep section or something, you're like, shit, I need to pay attention here. And you open your eyes and you kind of wake up and then it's like, oh shit, that hurts. But you just got to keep moving.
blisters suck.
It felt like it was the size of as round as a softball on my foot. And what it ended up being is 2 dime-sized blisters on the bottom of my feet.
Yeah, those are hard.
It is. But it was like, what am I going to do about it?
What are you gonna do? And you
I
know
got
what?
to mile 85 and I knew the point when the one popped because all of a sudden I had a sharp pain there.
Sharp pain and wet sock.
Yeah, I didn't really feel the wet. It was raining, so it was
gonna
probably
say.
already wet anyways, but
I had the sharp pain and my sock got wet. And I remember when I had one that was actually, it was big. It was really big. And Andrea told me I didn't have one. I think that made me
the
more
worst
mad.
part was there's a loop at mile 98, somewhere around there. You do like a 5-mile loop and it's nothing but rocks. It makes the rocks at Dino seem tame.
I
And
still-
those rocks hurt on the feet.
They do
really
hurt.
did.
I still have a hole from Dino on the bottom of my foot from the blister.
Really?
It was that big.
Ugh.
But you just, exactly what you said, it hurts, it sucks. You just have to put it away and go.
Yeah.
Because when people say, yo, I have really bad blisters, yeah, been there, it sucks.
Yeah.
And
No, I knew my blisters weren't as bad as Sally's where, I'm going to need
Oh.
stitches or,
those were,
gauze and all that kind of
those
stuff.
made my stomach kind of flop.
Yeah, that was really, really bad. But I knew my blisters weren't like that. But I also knew that I don't want to know what they look like. You know,
If anyone wants to see my blisters from Dino, I will send you a message. You see holes in the bottom of my foot and raw skin. They're big.
I'll tell you what, his foot afterwards when we got to the hotel that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may have been a bit nauseous when I saw his foot. I've never seen it like that.
And at the end of the race, I thought I was getting one on my left foot too, but I never had one, I don't think. I think it was just fatigue and pain from the miles in the rocks and the trail.
Did you lose any toenails?
I'll lose my big toenail on the right foot.
High
That's
five.
it.
Did you lose it or is it going to?
It will. It'll take 9 months to grow out.
Exactly. High five. Like, when was Dino? I text you and Andrea, hey, my toenail finally fell off. Doing hindsight preview because it was so wet. Yeah, the grass was so wet in the rain. I was like, my socks were wet, and I was like, oh, there's something in my shoe. Gosh, it's bothering me.
Your toenail.
It was my toenail.
Otherwise, the only other pain I had was probably my stomach just from bouncing downhill all too much. Or my diaphragm, I think.
Oh, yeah.
My diaphragm will get hurting. But my legs, I mean, they were tired and sore. But, after going downhill for 2 miles, they'll get really tired. But then you go uphill for 2 miles and then the downhill legs recover.
Oh. All right. Speaking of, shout out to Thunder Buddy. This is for my Thunder Buddy. I thought I'd say this on the podcast.
Okay.
Thunder Buddy is Lauren. All right, Lauren. So here's a new thing, starting a new trend. If you ever find a runner's toenail in the bed, it's good luck. Yep. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think I told her
I have no comment.
I think I was supposed to tell the whole story of what Scott said, and I haven't had enough drinks to say the rest of the story of if he finds it.
Do we need shots?
He said if I find it. No, I can't.
Yep, no.
Lauren's like, do it. No. So if you find a runner.
I heard this.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
I can't do it.
Yep.
So, if you find a runner's toenail in bed because they lost it, you've got good luck for 7 years. How's that? We're starting a new trend. I lost mine. Okay. All right. We're going to move on. All right. How important was having support and crew during your race?
It's always important. I was ready to do the race. I actually wanted to do the race without any support and crew
Why?
because I wanted to challenge myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked this race. No pacers. I wanted no crew, just use drop bags. But somebody insisted on being there, so I took advantage of it, and it helps
somebody
a lot.
cares about you.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
But somebody being your wife. But let me just pick your brain a little bit. The reason you wanted to do it without a crew or pacers because you know how hard it is to do it without a crew or pacer, correct?
Well, yeah, I wanted the challenge of it.
Yeah, the challenge. So with that, let me just say, when you do something like this, how important crew and pacers can be in helping you.
They can,
And
yes.
you wanted to be like, yeah, I know how important they are. So I wanted to do it without them because of the challenge.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yep.
All right. But you're like, hell no.
He was not going alone.
No.
No.
Well, let's talk about the drive home even. Like, how are you going to do that? Like, I'm just going to
I drove all the way home.
Jesus Christ. Are you serious?
I drove the day that he got done on Saturday. I drove the 2 hours to our hotel.
Yeah.
We stayed the night, and he drove the next day.
Yeah, I was actually
that
really
was-
comfortable. My legs were great.
That was with a stop at Frozen Head.
Yeah, we stopped.
Frozen Head State Park, and we did our mile a day, and
Yeah, I drove
got
all the
on
way home.
And I think we even got home earlier than we planned.
No, we got home later.
Not by much.
No, well, we spent a little more time at the park than we anticipated and a couple extra stops, but yeah.
Well, we talked to the park ranger for quite a while.
Yep.
quite a nice guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Was there any logistics problems or anything?
As far as elaborate, not really, other than her logistically trying to get to some of the aid stations.
I think she answered that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the logistics. That's
Yeah.
kind of already answered.
Thank God I was able to follow other crews.
Was it
and
hard mapping and stuff?
It was, because unfortunately I didn't have all the maps downloaded that I was supposed to. Someone told me, but they didn't download. But a lot of the different crews, just it was a train going from one stop to the next. So yeah, that wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
I made it work.
Did you make any friends?
I did.
Yeah?
I actually made quite a few friends. One of them is as close as Columbus, Iowa. Is that what it said?
Ohio. Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Columbus, Ohio.
There, and then there were 2 girls from not far from the Leadville area.
Oh.
Yeah. So
What about you? Did you make any friends out there? You don't talk to people.
I talked to a couple. There was gosh, I can't remember.
Did you hand out any Runners of the Corn podcast cards?
Nope, I
I
sure
didn't
didn't.
have
Sorry.
any.
Oh, shit. You didn't talk about the podcast or
If we
no?
would have had a Runners of the Corn sticker or Stonebridge Running sticker, we would have put it on the race director's vehicle, who is covered in stickers.
Really?
So note to self, future races have stickers.
All right.
So I did meet a few people on the trail. One person I remember is Dimitri.
Dimitri.
He's been here in the States for 14 or 16 years, down by the Atlanta area in Georgia. But he was from Russia originally, so it was neat talking to him for a few minutes.
Oh.
But yeah, this was actually, he had done the 50 mile before. And I can't remember if he had done one attempt at the 100 mile, and then this was a second attempt. I'm not sure.
Did he finish?
He did finish this year.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he did well.
Okay, good.
So,
I was
yeah,
like, but did he
he
finish?
was cruising really well early.
Good.
And I was
Wow.
like, wow, you're really moving really well.
But we're all moving really well in the
early.
beginning.
Yeah.
I know when I hear somebody, they're doing really good. They look like they're going to stay in the top 5. I'm like, it's the first 50
Right.
miles.
Right.
Or first 30 miles. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
And we didn't catch the guy's name, but someone did come up to us at the very beginning that recognized our Potawatomi hats.
oh, yeah, somebody
that was
right
kinda
across the
cool.
border in Indiana, he's like, I know Potawatomi. I've ran that.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, we
Yeah, that
thought
was
that was
cool.
pretty cool.
Look at Kelsey getting
Yeah.
known out there.
Yep.
Like Kelsey, you're known even in Georgia.
There you
Even
go.
if he's not, I don't know if he listens to the podcast. If you are, I'd like you on the podcast. I'll be nice. I promise. No drama. Okay. Please, Mike. I promise.
I'll buy you a drink.
I will even have Grace as your co-host. See? I mean, come on. All right. So looking back, was there anything that was like really a big thing, like a big critical factor in your performance, like your training, your strategy? Is it your mental toughness? What do you think? What do you think makes you Matthias finishing in the top? Did you finish in the top 10?
Top 12.
Top 12.
Top 15.
Yeah.
So fuck, that's pretty good.
12 overall. 10
I was still
fail, right?
7 hours behind the leader.
That's pretty
was-
impressive.
that
So
was-
what makes you do that? Is it the training? Is it the mental stuff? What do you think it is?
Probably all combined. It's a little bit of everything.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Determination.
people are listening. They want this. They want this really bad. They're striving. I met a new runner just recently. Does he even listen to the podcast, our newbie that I just met?
Brian?
But yeah.
I'm not sure if he does or not.
You know, he was talking about, I want to be in my age placement, you know, this and that. It takes work. Or does it take mental toughness? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like what? Yeah, it does. It's all of it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, you got to put the work in, and you got to have the mentality for it also, for sure.
and genetics.
Well, that plays in probably not so much if you finish a lot of the races,
Right.
but it definitely plays in how fast you are for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would you have done anything differently?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
Right?
I mean, I went way beyond my expectations for what I thought I would
You
do. For a
sallied
race.
it. You know, you sallied it. Like Sally says, if you're going to have, okay, for example, say you're going to have 100 feet of gain. Okay, I had this battle with a coach of mine, and I'm a coach, and I had a coach, and we had to have this battle. And I like Sally's, and I did a Sally mindset. If you're going to have 100 feet of gain per mile at your race, train for 100 feet, 150 feet per gain.
Mhm.
Go above and beyond. I think that's what you did, right? Would you do it again
Well,
like that?
Oh, of course.
I think you should. I think you should. And they disagree. I'm like, no, I think you should go above. I think you should go harder.
It depends what your goals are.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. So,
So would you
I
train
knew-
as hard as you did?
oh, for sure.
Okay.
It was a huge difference.
Would you lose the weight again? for it?
Yeah. I would
Um,
lose the weight if it wasn't for this race.
All right. So really, there's not a whole lot you've done differently, right?
Not really. I mean, if I had more time, I might have put a couple more hill workouts in, maybe a few more miles.
How are you going to
but-
put more hill works in, dude? Like you did a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of Sundays I
There's
didn't
a
make
point
it.
where you risk injury, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so you're probably borderlining that.
A little bit. It was
Yeah.
a delicate balance.
Yeah.
And I paid very,
So
very
no.
particular attention to that.
No. You think your nutrition was on point? Like your protein and stuff?
I think it was, leading up to the race, it was. During the race, I don't know. I think it was good.
Your mental game. You think that was on point? Like mentally prepared?
I was mentally prepared for a hard race. Yes,
Okay.
for sure.
So really,
to the point
no.
where I was really anxious about it.
Yeah.
I was
I didn't
really
get to talk to you.
anxious
I didn't
about
get
it.
to talk to you before, so I have no idea.
I
Like,
was super anxious about it. You can ask her. I was really anxious. I was
Yeah.
scared.
was he annoying?
He was
Well-
quiet.
How was the taper tantrums at the house?
Not bad.
I really didn't
No.
have any because I was still running a lot,
Yeah.
actually. I was still getting out every day. If I didn't go out and do a training run, I went for a walk.
I wasn't calling it a taper at all.
Oh.
Well, I tapered my miles back quite a bit, especially the last week. But, if I did go out for miles, they were just not at the effort I was usually doing.
Okay. So now I have some minor questions, some easy questions, some fun questions.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the scenery like? Was it pretty at all? Like, was there any times you wanted to take pictures? Like,
So the trails themselves are gorgeous.
yeah.
I mean, you're running through the thick forest and all the trees around you. I thought the trails were beautiful. There's a couple of spots on the Duncan Ridge Trail. They also call that the Dragon Spine. It's probably around mile 38 to 40, somewhere around there. I think, yeah. That there's some really good views
Yeah.
that I didn't get to see
Why?
because it was dark and foggy.
Oh.
There was sometimes I would get on one side of the hill. It would be so foggy I couldn't see 50 feet in front of me.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I got lucky that I got to my aid station when did I see it 40 miles right before you went to Dragon's Ridge,
Okay.
right? And then I went to an aid station that I was going to see him at next, and I was able to finally sleep. I got there, literally, the fog fell on me.
Oh.
So I got there just in time.
Yeah.
And that's how the fog moved there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could just watch it move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we would be on one side of the hill and it was really foggy. And then we would kind of go up and over this little, flat spot. And then we'd be on the other side of the hill and it'd be a lot clearer. It was really cool. Some spots there was foggy enough, it was almost affecting my light. But
Wow. Awesome.
But other than that, you don't get the mountaintop views for almost all of the race. But for me, being in the trees, and I thought it was beautiful.
I was like, okay, enough of all the logistics and the strength training and the training. Was it pretty? I want to know, was it pretty?
Yeah.
So, and you already said that I wanted to know what the aid station people were like, but Stephanie, you said they were really good.
They were great. And
Did
they
they
were
have
great
that-
with her too.
Yeah.
Did they have that Midwest love?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
They were
you
great.
gotta love when you're Southern and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you're from the Midwest. We can tell by your accent." And I'm like, "What?"
What? We
Oh,
have an
yeah.
accent?
I've spent some time in Georgia, and it's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
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 Let's just say there's one aid station I probably could have stayed.
Mm-hmm.
He would fit in with us Yetis really well.
Oh.
He loved his fireball.
Uh-huh.
He did 3 shots while I was there waiting for Matthias.
Did you do any show?
He offered. I said no.
Oh, somebody was like, I got to be on my best behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, you're driving
And
those,
it-
Right.
those curves.
It was
Those
8
curves are
a.m. and
terrible.
Those roads are unbelievable.
A lot of not good things happen on those roads. There's a reason why
Yeah.
state troopers are named after a lot of those roads. So,
Yep.
yeah, unfortunately.
But it
But-
was good. We really,
Yeah, and they had the aid stations were stocked with the general food.
Yep.
They were fully stocked at all times. And they had a kind of a variety of warm foods. There was a couple of times I got to a couple of the aid stations and they didn't have really a lot of warm foods to choose from. But I think part of that was because I was not up front, but I was close enough up front.
Yeah,
They just
no, no,
didn't. Yeah, they just weren't ready yet.
they weren't ready yet.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're going to come to the end here.
Uh-huh.
What would you say to somebody who is debating on doing this race? This is all you know. Like, say I'm coming up to you. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of thinking about doing Curl Jewel. What do you think about it? Like, should I do it?
Yeah.
Why?
It gives you 48 hours. The finisher rate for that race this year was 76%. That's better than most hundreds. So they give you so much time to finish that race. And it is a true challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I say is a great runcation, is a great adventure. Frozen Head State Park was only 3 hours away from there, so you can visit that on your way there or on your way back. It's beautiful down there in eastern Tennessee and in northern Georgia. I say if you're thinking about it, go do it.
What was the cost? Very affordable?
I don't remember what I paid for the race.
Go
Or
look
he
it up.
doesn't want to say in front of his
Oh,
wife.
okay. Yeah.
No, I
Look it up.
honestly don't remember.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was not astronomical.
Mhm.
They have great swag. I got 2 t-shirts and a hat.
Yeah.
And it is
So-
a qualifier.
Yes.
True
Yeah.
qualifier.
Yeah,
Two
it's
qualifiers.
a Western qualifier and a Hard Rock qualifier.
Correct.
Bobby
So-
pointed that out.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
wait. Are you going to do that next?
I'm going to put my name in the hat.
Not for Western. I'm talking about the other one.
Yes, of course.
Oh,
Why wouldn't I? I just did Cruel Jewel, and that went so much smoother.
I'll tell you why.
My overall thoughts of that race were
What is
so
your
much
thoughts
easier.
on him doing the other one?
I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, she hasn't read the race description yet.
I just know the. Are you talking Hard Rock or the other one?
Yeah, Hard Rock.
Okay, yeah.
Where it says bring, things to prepare for lightning and squalls and
Death.
What was
Death.
the one you were telling me
Death.
about? Was it Aura or something like that?
Ore.
Ore.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, that
know.
one. Unless I'm mixing the two up.
Stephanie, do you understand what happens if he does Hard Rock?
I'm a legend. I don't know. I don't get what you're trying to get at here.
All I know
Are you going to tell her?
What?
What? Don't what?
is that the one that required you to.
Everyone
carry
is
the-
listening on the podcast. I guarantee you,
Facts?
Bevy is laughing right now. Bevy is giggling. Yeah.
What? I get to kiss the rock? I mean,
I know about that.
It's
Yeah.
freaking dangerous.
it is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, a little bit.
It just depends if the weather rolls in. If the weather rolls in, you got to take shelter. They have shelters up there. That's why they give you 52 hours to finish the race.
How's crewing that?
I've heard it's challenging because I've heard that you got to take a 3-hour drive to go from one to the next in one spot. But
He's not winning this one.
You know, I'm just over
Run
here, you
sign up might
guys.
be very
I hope you're
close to
enjoying
watch.
this as I'm stirring the shit pot right now. I'm just throwing shit in the fire right now. Just stirring it and watching these two.
nobody has but died on
Yet.
Hard Rock. Nobody's
Really?
got struck by lightning in Hard Rock.
No? Not yet?
No.
Though.
See, it's not that dangerous. I don't know what you're getting at.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Have fun with that.
That's what life insurance is for.
Oh. You know, sometimes they're better off. Never mind. So, any advice for anyone thinking about that or anything? Because I got no more questions for you, dude. You got anything more you want to say about your race?
Cruel Joel,
Yeah.
if you're thinking about it, go after it
Nah.
and prepare for it.
Same with hindsight.
Yeah.
Your race. Sign up for
Yep.
the
If you're
races.
thinking about it, just do it.
Life is short. Fucking do it.
If you're not sure, sign up for a 25K. And if you decide later you want to do 100K, just let me know. We'll bill you the difference. On
Wait.
paper, the race is not hard.
All right. I guess that's it. You got anything else? No? All right. Bottoms up on our beers. Well, we'll see you next time. We are working on scheduling Aaron Montgomery because that one got canceled. Aaron, I need to get you scheduled.
Yes.
I'm working.
We need to get her and the whole crew.
The other one I would like
That'd
to
be a great
get
one.
is Nick Panisse. Nick, I would like to get you scheduled. I want to talk about how I'm going to work out my Sedona schedule.
Ooh, there you go. He's
yeah.
got some pretty good insight, I'm sure, for that.
Yeah, I got to figure that out in a crew. You know, and just sitting here talking about things, I would love it if Morgan Mader would pace me at Sedona. So I think I'm officially asking her on the podcast to yell at me and go, fucking go!
Right?
Go! Like she yells at James. I would love it if Morgan would go out to Sedona with me.
I wonder after 2 miles, you'd be like, where's my earplugs?
No. No. I think that woman would make me run when
Probably.
I need to run.
Yeah, because you're running away from the voice.
I love her. She's awesome. Let's
So much
fucking do
energy.
it.
It's awesome.
All right. Until next time, you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.